Good morning, y'all. Hold on one second. Let me finish sending this thing on out, y'all. Hold on one second. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Happy, blessed Tuesday. Hey, Visha, how you doing? I literally just sent it to you. I didn't even know that was you that was on here. Listen, our declaration. How y'all doing this morning? It is a beautiful morning, y'all. It's a beautiful morning. It's one of those mornings where I just woke up and I literally just felt like a release. I am doing great this morning, V-Shot. Listen, I woke up, sis. I don't know about y'all, but like this pattern with the time, my body still has not adjusted. I'm going to say it again. My body still has not adjusted to the time shift. I woke up. What's up, Pastor Ron? Y'all, I woke up at like 3 and I could not go back to sleep. Like y'all should have saw me. I woke up, took Bo outside. Listen, and I just laid there in the bed and I said, Lord, I'm so upset that I can't go back to sleep. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever like been through that where you're just like irritable because you want to go back to sleep, but you can't. This was me for the past few days since the time shifted. I'm just like, Lord, help a sister out, help your daughter out, please let me be able to get some rest. But listen, man, God is protecting you in this season. That is going to be so. That's a little bit of my morning. So I'm up. I am up. I went on listen. I've been going on my walks at like 5:30ish in the morning, and I'm like, God, I like this. It's so quiet. It ain't no kids out waiting for the school bus. It's just, I can just literally, Pastor One, I'm like, I can just literally just breathe. I can just talk to God. And I ain't got to worry about buses or cars or anything else. And so I'm up this morning on my second cup of coffee. Listen, man, our declaration, God is protecting you. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to say it again. God is protecting you by showing you what you need to do. Whew. Yeah. God says, I need to say that again. The declaration of the word. God is protecting you by showing you what you need to do. You ever like been in a situation where you're asking God what to do, but you feel like he ain't saying nothing? Y'all ever, by show of hands, have y'all like ever like been through a situation where it's like you're asking God, Lord, what do I do? And you feel like he's not telling you. I think a lot of times the issue in moments like that, it's not that God isn't telling us, but it's but a lot of times it boils down to the fact, or the point rather, that we're really not receptive to what he's already said. I'm going to let that sink in. I'm going to say it again. Sometimes we all get to those points in different things that pop up in our life where we're praying about what we need to do, but it seems like God isn't saying anything. And because we feel like he's not saying anything, it creates like a sense of like anxiousness. Like you just feel like you are literally walking on, pins. And then you feel like at any moment now, God, this circumstance or this situation, it is literally going to take me out. And so a lot of times in moments like that, it ain't that God ain't talking, but a lot of times what it boils down to is we're not receptive to what he's saying. But in this season, God is saying, it's like this keeps coming up to me for the past few days. Honestly, since we entered into like the month of November, God has really been dealing really heavily about like making different choices in this season, gleaning from like what we've learned previously in life, not just the past season, but all of the seasons that we've been through, gleaning from that and using those lessons learned to make different choices in the confines of this season, because he keeps saying it. Good morning, Miss Washington, because when you make a different choice, guess what happens? You get a different outcome. And so I had a moment the other day, yesterday rather, it was really the past few days where, I don't know if y'all have ever felt this way, but you kind of feel, I felt unsettled about something. I felt unsettled about a situation. I knew what God was showing me. I knew what I was perceiving about this situation, but it felt like I did not know what to do. And so because I felt like I didn't know what to do, and all I could think about was, God, I done been here, done this. I don't want to go back through this. What do I do? And God wasn't saying anything. It added like an immense amount of like pressure, which was like, for me, that was kind of what yesterday was. I'm like, God, this is a lot of pressure. Like, I done been here. It was like a whole bunch of I've been here, done here situations yesterday. I don't know if y'all have ever been through that. Hey, Miss Baldwin. But it's like everywhere I looked, I'm like, Lord, I just feel like I've been here, done that. It felt like the entire day yesterday. It was, I know how this goes, so let me not do X, Y, Z. One of the things that happened, and God wants me to share this, was my mother called me. And it was real random. I'm going to be real. At first, I ain't answered the call because my stomach was cramping. I ain't feel good. And so she called back and she says, she was just emotional. Oh, your sister didn't cuss me out and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And although I felt bad, and I felt really bad that my sister did that, but I really wasn't surprised because she did it to me, but not to that extent. So I'm not surprised. And so, she's just telling me all of this, just talking. And, God, he immediately flashed back moments like in the past where my mother would do that. Even like growing up, she would, she would have this thing where she unconsciously pinned me and my sister against each other, and so, what would happen was she would come to me talking about what my sister had done. And then, I would either say something to my sister or it would create bad blood between me and my sister. And then a week later, you and her back cool, and now you looking at me like I'm the issue. So, it's like when she was telling me this, I immediately knew, like, I'm not fighting this battle. I feel bad. She was wrong for doing that, but I am not getting in the middle of this because, listen, you talking about how you've done and this is this. I really felt like I done heard it all before. I don't know if y'all know that song, like, heard it all before. I heard it all before. I know how this goes. So this was one situation. And then it was another situation, and I'm just like, God, I've been here, done here. I've been here, done that. I ain't going back through that. Not in ministry, not in my. I'm not doing it. This was how I felt all day yesterday. And so the second situation, I'm not going to go into too much detail. It was one of those things where I'm like, God, what do I do? What do I do? And he wasn't saying anything. And because I felt like he wasn't saying anything, I just, all I could say to God last night was, I don't want to go back through that, God. I'm not going back through that. And I'm looking at God all night. Like, I literally prayed myself to sleep talking to God about this. And so I'm talking to God about it. I'm like, Lord, what do I do? Because I can hindsight. I'm like, I can already foresee what this is going to turn into if I don't make a move here. And so I went to bed. Woke up at 3:38 to be exact. I woke up. It was a little bit before 3:38 because when I looked at the clock, it was 3:33. Then it was 3:38. So, I'm talking to God about it, but I wake up this morning and immediately I heard God say, block them both. I'm going to say it again. I immediately heard God say, because it was two individuals stirring up and it was just drama. And I'm like, God, I don't like drama. I don't like God. I don't like it. Don't want no parts of it. Don't want no part. I don't care. I was literally telling one of the individuals, I don't care. As long as I'm good with God, I don't care about none of this. I do not care. God, I don't care. I don't care about none of this. I don't care about to figure out why they feel. I don't care. I don't care. So I woke up this morning. I'm going somewhere with this. And the Lord said, block them both. I'm going to let that sink in. And so immediately when God said that, block them both, I went in my phone and I said, you know what, God? You are absolutely correct. And I blocked them both on my phone. And immediately when I blocked them, I felt a release. I felt peace. God wants me to say it again. Immediately when I made that decision, I felt peace. And the reason why that was so important, I'm going to get into the revelation, why that was so important. Because like in my past, right? It's like, hey, Sabrina, I would know God was showing me things. It's like I could see it coming before it happened. I could see where things were like, especially with people, because I've had a lot of people hurt. I would see something coming. God would show it to me. And I never made a different decision. I never wanted to be the one to block somebody. I'm just being real. I never wanted to take that initial step. I second guessed it a lot. And because I used to second guess it so much, it put me in situations, right, where now I'm in a self-created storm. Now I'm dealing with X, Y, and Z because I didn't move on what God told me to do. And this has even happened like dating wise, not just like in ministry, not just with friends, but it has happened. And so immediately I felt peace. And so I got up, drank my coffee, put on my clothes, and I went for my walk. And the Lord began to talk to me about cycles. And the Lord said, can't you see that in this season, I'm protecting you by showing you how to break the cycle? Like for many of us, like some of you guys may have already noticed, there are similar situations popping up in your life. Things that in the past, you've been in some really bad predicaments, even some self-created storms because you didn't take heed to what God showed you, or you chose to respond the same way that you had. But God is saying these things are popping back up now so that you can break the cycle by making a different choice. And it's different for everybody. For me, people was always the way that the enemy got me hung up. For you, it may be, God has been dealing with you about, let's just say, being organized or, not being lackadaisical when it revolves around handling business, not just putting it off to the side and not doing anything. And so it's like if you look at your life, you'll be able to see the pattern. I'm going to say it again. If you look at your life, you'll be able to see the pattern of what God is trying to get you to break a cycle, what area God is trying to get you to break the cycle in. For some of you, it may be financial, where maybe, you've just always made, poor financial decisions. And it's maybe like one of those things where God showed you, if you keep doing this, this is going to happen, right? But because you never made a different decision, you continue to go through the cycle of like not having enough, being in lack, not seeing God do certain things. Maybe, your issue has been, maybe you get overwhelmed and you shut down. And maybe God has taught you through situations that every single time you allow the feeling of being overwhelmed to shut you down where you don't do nothing, it gets you in a pickle. It gets you into a self-created storm where now you got to go without something, even if it's not financially, because you didn't do what you needed to do. You stopped movement. You just put it out of sight, out of mind. Maybe God is saying in this season, these things are popping back up so that instead of you shutting down, that you actually break the cycle and get what you need to get done. I pray that I'm making sense. In this season, it is apparent that there was a harvest for us to be able to harvest. But I truly believe that in order for us to receive that harvest, we have to make different decisions, because making different decisions produces a different outcome. Some of us have been praying about, God, why do I keep going through the same thing over and over and over again? The same thing relationally, the same thing in ministry, the same thing, in business, the same thing, financially, the same thing health-wise. And, it's like we go through these things doing the same thing and we get mad because we're continuously being on the receiving end of the same result. We keep getting set back. We keep getting hurt. We keep going through these self-created storms. And it produces in us a spirit of frustration, because now we're frustrated because to us, we feel like I'm doing everything that I can do to move forward, to see you, to see you move in my life. God, I'm doing everything that I can to like shift into whatever my next level is, whatever my next season is. And so sometimes we sit and we wonder, why isn't it happening? And we contemplate throwing in the towel. Well, maybe I just don't need to believe you for that, God. And I think really the issue for many of us is many of us have not seen the patterns of the cycles that we've put ourselves through. It ain't the devil. It's been us. Because we responded the same way to finances. We've responded the same way to ministry. We've responded the same way to business. We've responded the same way to handling. We've just responded the same way. Not knowing that every single time we respond the same way, it means, guess what? We reap what we sow. We sowed a seed that we've always sown. So guess what? We reaping the harvest that we've always reaped. But the moment you began to sow different seeds by responding differently, by showing God that, Lord, I've actually learned from what I've gone through. I've grown some wisdom. Listen, these experiences, as hard or as easy as they've been, they've produced, they've produced wisdom in me to where I now know that if I touch a hot stove, it's going to burn me. So now that I'm being presented with it, right, in the midst of a season where you're saying, I got a harvest, let me do something different because God, for once, I want a different harvest. My God. I'm going to say it again. Yeah, we've been getting harvest, but but guess what? We reap what we sow. So if we're sowing, the same lack of discipline in whatever area it is, we're reaping a harvest of not having discipline in that area. Whatever area it is, it's not just financially. It's with people. It's with the decisions that you make on a daily basis, the ways that the enemy has tripped you up. And so God is saying, this harvest, come on, that he set aside for us, it depends on us doing something different. And I hear the Lord even now saying, doing something different produces a different result. It produces a different harvest. Give me a 1 if you get what I'm saying. Doing something different produces a different harvest. I'm going to say it again. Doing something different produces a different harvest. It produces a different harvest. And I don't know why God wants me to tell you this, Visha. Stay on top of the things that you need to get accomplished in this season. Yes, you are in a brand new season, but glean from the mistakes that you've made. And this ain't just her word. Glean from the mistakes that you've made from the past. Glean from those self-created storms and show God, Lord, I actually want a different result. This was literally my prayer to God before I went to bed last night. Because here I am. And I'm like, God, I don't want to be in the middle of nobody's drama. I don't care for the theatrics of people. I don't care for the gossip. There are certain things that I have it's zero tolerance for. I don't know if y'all are like that, but I'm one of those people. I don't do drama. I don't do back and forth. I don't do gossip. I don't do toxicity at all. And I'm like, God, this is just finding its way to me. And I'm literally just out here trying to stay focused, doing what you've called me to do. And this stuff just keeps piling on. And so here I am saying, God, what do I do? And it's not that I didn't know what to do on yesterday, but yesterday I was receptive, but I really wasn't receptive, if that makes sense, because he was asking me to do something that I've never done. He was asking me, listen, I know it ain't no bad blood, but just block them. Block them. Don't send no message. Don't block them so that there's no access. And he had to put it to me in this term. They sowed a seed, and now they're reaping a harvest of the seed that they tried to sow in your life. It's a boundary. And so this morning, I'm praying to God last night, and I was like, God, I really don't want, not even a confrontation. Listen, I'm like, God, stop, y'all. Stop. I told God, I said, Lord, I don't want to go through this again. I don't want to go. Maybe y'all don't have a situation that you done been there, done this so many times, you cannot afford to go back through it. I literally told God, I don't want to go back through this. Like, God, I'm serious. Tell me what to do, because I don't want to do that no more. I don't have peace about that. I don't trust those people. I don't want to go back through it. I saw what I saw the entire time it was happening. And it's funny how sometimes when the devil knows that you're perceiving things correctly and you're discerning things correctly, he'll try to make you second guess what you see. The devil is the devil is the number one gaslighter. And we ain't just talking about with people. I'm going to say it again. Hey, Alyssa. Sometimes when the devil knows that you've grown to such a degree and you're really starting to see things for what they really are, whether it is circumstantial or whether it is relational, what he will oftentimes try to do is to make you second guess on whether or not you're perceiving things correctly. Are you reading too much in it? He'll make you try to question what you're properly discerning about a thing. And so, as I had been spending time with God about it over this weekend, I knew what I heard God say. I knew what he showed me. I knew that when I look at you, something's just not right. I don't know what it is. You talk a good God game, but something is not right. Something ain't right. And so the entire time that I was talking to this individual, I kept hearing God say, don't second guess what you perceived. God had to literally tell me, do not second guess. You discerned correctly. You saw what I needed you to see. Don't second guess it. Don't read too much into it. Don't second guess what you saw. And literally, I went to sleep on that point as I was telling God. He literally told me, you're not wrong about what you saw. And I went to bed. And this morning, when I woke up, before I could even thank God for allowing me to wake up, y'all. Before I could even thank him. Before I could even open my eyes good. The Lord said, block them both. Don't say anything. He said, if they ask you, what's up with your phone? Tell them you changed your number. But whatever you do, block them both. Block them both. And I ain't waste time because I was serious about not going through the same thing again. I was serious about it. I was serious about not giving the enemy access to me. I was serious about it. I was so serious about it. So I didn't waste time. I immediately did it. And I immediately felt peace. And for those of you guys that break whatever your cycles are, that make different decisions, literally, as you break the cycle, you're literally going to feel a release. You're literally going to feel peace. And it's God's way of letting you know. Bo, stop it. It's God's way of letting you know that you have done the right thing. And it's like what God showed me this morning. It's like these decisions that we're having to make to break cycles. It's like he's bringing us to a crossroads. You know, like when you're at a crossroads, it's, like a T-shaped road. And you can either go one or the other way. Either you can go to the left or you can go to the right. And so for many of us in this season, because of the brevity and the gravity and the weight that this season of harvest holds, God, Capone, get out of those blinds. What God is saying is, I'm bringing you to a crossroads. And whatever decision you make is going to determine what the next few seasons of your life, what the next 3 seasons, I don't know why I hear that, what the next 3 seasons of your life look like. Yeah. I'm going to say it again. Absolutely, Miss Mary. Whatever decision that you make at this crossroads, whether you decide to, listen, if you decide not to make, the right choice and to still do what you've been doing, the next 3 seasons of your life will reflect that choice. And God is saying, if you choose to go right, to make a different decision, to break the cycle, then guess what? Capone, no. The next 3 seasons of your life will reflect it. He ain't saying forever, but what he is saying is that what you do in this season is going to affect the next 3 seasons of your life. If you choose not to make a different choice, guess what's going to happen? You're going to find yourself going through these cycles for the next 3 seasons. You're going to reap that harvest. But if you make a different choice, The Lord is saying you're going to reap the harvest of that decision that you made right now. So break the cycle. Break the cycle. Break the cycle. I'm going to say it again. Break the cycle. I need y'all to type that in. Break the cycle. God is protecting us by allowing us to even be put in a position where we can break the cycle. And that's the word this morning. That is the word on this morning. That's the word. Break the cycle. Break it. Do something different. Do something different. And watch God give you a different response. Listen, there are some, I see the number 7. It says 7 people are watching. All 7 of you need to release a break the cycle seed into this word. Even if you get on this word after the fact, after it's live, and you know this word was for you, direct confirmation, whether it bear witness with your spirit or either you know God has been dealing with you about this. So 17 is the number that I hear. Sow a $17 seed. And even if you say, Apostle, I don't have $17, so $1.17, $7.17, $17.17, whatever God leads you to sow. You may even feel led to sow $34.17, but whatever it is, you let God lead you. The seed title is Break the Cycle. For some of you guys, this is going to be a test for you. For some of you guys, this is a crossroads. Because some of you guys, you like, God, apart from tithing, I ain't trying to sow nothing. I ain't trying to sow. But you go out and you spend your money on other stuff that don't have nothing to do with where God is taking you or what he's doing in your life. Yeah. Absolutely, Miss Mary. And so listen, is there anyone on here that needs to be sown for? If we are good, give me a 1 on the screen. If we are good, give me a 1 on the screen. Hey, Miss Jennifer. Listen, not you rolling on in here late. We winding on down. Please watch this. This word was for you, Miss Jennifer. I don't know why God say to tell you that. If you can watch it from the very beginning, please go back and watch it like from the very beginning. Please go back and watch it from the very beginning. Do I have anyone that can sow a 17 seed for Visha? Do I have anyone that can sow a $17 seed? I hear $17. 17 is what I hear. Do I have anyone that can just sow that $17.17 seed for Visha? And it's just a break the cycle seed. Where the funds today are going to go towards. Visha, can I share a part of your testimony? Can I share your testimony? Can I share a part of it? I believe that it will be encouraging to some of the people that are on it. Can I share your testimony? I'm gonna wait for her to give me confirmation. Visha, can I share your testimony? Visha, I need you to come in. I believe okay. So those of y'all that have been following the ministry for a while, Visha finally got her apartment. She in there. I'm going to say it again. Like, Visha has been believing God for living arrangements since, I want to say, 2017. The end of hey, stop it. Stop. Sit down. Sit down. Since the end of 2017. And I mean, it was a testament of her faith. I mean, listen, back and forth, but she stood it out. And as of November 1st, she got her keys, y'all. From sleeping in hotels to her car to even like going to the shelter, she finally got her keys on November the 1st. And so where some of the funds are going towards, I actually have a care package that one of you guys sent. I believe it was, I'm not going to say who it was from, but they sent it in 2020 for her. And it's a pretty hefty package. And I need to be able to ship it to her. And whatever else, I also have furniture that I need to ship to her. But For right now, God wants me to ship this care package. I'll show you guys so y'all know that I'm not lying. Hold on, y'all. Okay, this is actually the care package, and it's pretty heavy. I don't know what's in here because I didn't open it. But this is the box that I need to ship to her. When it was shipped to me, I believe they paid like almost $20 to ship it. And so the funds are going to go towards that. There are some other things that I need to take care of as well. Have shirt orders, but I need vinyl. I have the majority of what I need, but I have to go back to Michael's. And I want to say for me to go and get that vinyl, it's going to be around $25, I'm going to say around $30 for me to get what I need. And so that is where the funds are going to go towards for me to ship this off, which is around 20. I'm going to say we're going to round up to around 20. And everything else is just so that I can complete these shirt orders that have come in. And so God is so good. She got her keys. Her weight paid off. And so this is what is on my agenda. And so I'm going to say my goal today is around, I'm going to say around 100. And that will get me every single thing that I need, even like food for my home. And so that is it, y'all. That is it. To those of you guys that are sowing seed, Break the Cycle is the seed title. The seed number is 17. 1 plus 7 equals 8, which is obviously new beginnings. It makes sense because God says we are coming to a crossroads, meaning if we go to the left and continue as we have in the past, life is going to be the same for the next 3 seasons. But if we make a different choice than what God is saying, what we can expect, hey, Miss Allen, what we can expect is that life is going to look a lot different for us going forward for the next 3 seasons. And so that is it. If you know you need to sow, please do not delay. Even if you say, Apostle, I only have $17, $1.17, $5.17, $7.17, $10.17, 17 cents. You let God lead you. And so that is it, y'all. I love y'all. I am rooting for you. So until next time, y'all.